it's a burning question inside me that why seafarers are always left behind and put in shadows.
I personally believe that not all soldiers wear uniform, you know. There are some soldiers who don't wear uniform, and those are the seafarers. As a master, the life is very good. Sir, what do you need? How can we serve you? But no one asked that question to a AB, to a cadet, to a viper. Then I realized, it is not just the master. It is everyone who needs something. So it started as a help. Sailor's Card started as helping people.
Now the irony is, we seafarers provide something like a mic to this sweater to the world, and yet we don't have the access to get something like this on board. And that is where I think you crack the code.
We are earning well. We are still miserable. When everyone can buy at the same price, why can't sailor buy? So Sailor's Card is your friend. Sailor's Card is a platform where you can buy anything and everything while you are at sea, and you get the comfort of how you enjoy at home.
So it's like Amazon for seafarers. Welcome back to the KSN show. Imagine all of the things which are around your room right now are transported by seafarers. Yet, seafarers don't have the access to basic amenities like toothpaste, toothbrush, soaps, etc. without inflated prices and logistical issues on board. Today, we have Captain Akee Sharma, who is the founder of Sailor's Card, and he is going to address this particular issue and how he is solving that. Lots to take away, especially seafarers. Watch the entire podcast because this can actually help you purchase things without inflated prices. Taking you straight into the podcast. Enjoy and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Captain Akee, welcome to the KSN show, sir. It's an honor for us to have you here. First of all, how are you feeling?
Now I'll tell you, I'm feeling very good and very honored.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's my honor actually to be here. I tell you, I have seen many of your podcasts before.
Right, sir.
And me being here at such early stage of my entrepreneur journey,
Absolutely.
I think I'm going on a right path.
And we need to decode your entrepreneurial journey today because it's an inspiration for us young seafarers. But first, I want you to introduce yourself to the audience. Just a brief of from when you started, where you started, and where you are today.
I'll give a brief. I started my cadetship in 2006. And 2010, I got my second mate license. And then from there, I sailed with multiple companies. And 2017, I cleared my masters. I got my license. And 2019, I got my command finally.
And
so 2019 ke baad, then COVID came,
Right,
and
right.
I was on my first ship. I signed off from the first ship, and COVID came. And usse pehle ka journey was very adventurous, very good. How we all know how we used to go out, have fun,
We'll go on to that section, sir.
Yeah, and फिर उसके बाद I sailed for till 2022. I did 5 ships as a captain, as a master.
Right, sir.
And after that, then I decided I have to do something else because I was doing the same job. And I think I reached that stage of being a captain a little early than I expected. And it was getting very monotonous, I had... for me, I always wanted to do something better. So till I didn't become a captain, वो होता था कि यार chief mate बनना है, master बनना है, we have to do something better than what we are doing.
Absolutely.
So that's where I decided to come ashore.
Okay.
And I got opportunity with MSC to be a superintendent with them. So I was with them for almost 10 months.
Okay.
And but that was more like a remote job for me. I was based in India and working for their office in Cyprus. And then I got an opportunity to move to Singapore for a company called KSN.
Okay.
So I was with them as a marine superintendent. I moved there last year, 2023 in August. And I did that for almost 14 months. And finally, then my entrepreneur journey started.
Absolutely.
Actually, it started last year.
Right.
I started this along with my existing job. As I had someone who helped me.
Okay.
So it was more like an idea, and I didn't know. See, every one of us, we don't want to take risk, and especially for us sailors, and especially master mariners.
Especially we are like risk management, risk
Yes.
assessment to the core. Yeah.
Yeah. So we always take all the factors before we do something.
Absolutely.
So I started it as a trial.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
and I was working and I was doing both things. So I was doing 9 to 5 as a superintendent, and 6 o'clock to 11 o'clock every day I used to work on my startup. And
So you know what? We in general have covered podcasts which are based on technology, operations, crewing, manning, you name it. But today I wanted to go into this segment which nobody talks about, neither do they highlight it. That is welfare of a seafarer. See, tech is progressing, welfare is progressing, yet the basic needs, like a toothpaste perhaps, to get on board for a 9-month contract is sometimes tough to get because of certain limitations. But I want you to first take us to your personal experiences in your journey, that how have you faced certain challenges in regards to welfare, being a master as well for the crew, some of your experiences.
see, I tell you, as a master, the life is very good. You know, everyone knows because everyone wants to oblige that master, from the agents to the ship chandlers.
Right.
Anyone who's coming on board, the first thing they will ask and come and ask to the master, sir, what do you need? How can we
Serve
bring
you.
things for serve you? But no one asks that question to a AB, to
Absolutely.
a cadet, to a viper, you know. So I'll tell you, as a captain, there were challenges because I'm a shopaholic. You know, I used to shop a lot when I
Right.
used to sail. I
Right.
used to always dedicate a certain percentage of my earnings at every rank for my gadgets, for my clothing, you know,
Absolutely.
which I want to bring back home. But when I became superintendent, that's where I started seeing the pain of other people as well.
So what was that part like?
See, I'll give you an example where this thing struck me, why I started Sailor's Card. So I went to US for MSc, one of the ship inspection. I boarded the vessel 9 a.m. in the morning. The vessel was berthing, and I saw a guy standing at the gangway in his normal attire without safety helmet. So as a superintendent, once you see that, you lose your temper, right?
Absolutely.
But I controlled myself. I said, I have just boarded the vessel. I don't want to say anything. Maybe he's there for something. I went in. I met captain, chief officer. We had an opening meeting. After that, I went for a deck round. I returned to the same gangway almost after 2.5 hours.
Okay.
11:30 for lunch. We were going for lunch. That guy was still standing there in the same attire at the same spot.
Okay.
And then I could not control myself. And I asked him, I said, what are you doing here and in this? And he very gently told me, sir, I'm waiting for someone. I want some peanuts.
Okay.
Some big box of planter. You know, in US you get big box of planter peanuts.
Right.
So he wanted that peanuts because the vessel was leaving US for a long sailing.
Oh.
2.5 hours he was standing there just because someone told
Yeah.
someone told him,
Him, yeah.
that he's gonna come on board
Oof.
and he's gonna get him that. You
So,
know.
I mean, what an experience. First, it's a bad one, first
Yeah.
of all. But this is the reality.
This is the reality. Then it really struck me. I could not say him anything. I just told him, you know, you should not. Then I had to just tell him, be in your safety gear if you're at the gangway. And then I just moved on. And after that, you know, this thought struck me that how miserable we are. You know, we are earning well. Everyone on ship, from $500 to $15,000, $20,000, whoever, they're earning good amount.
Absolutely.
But we are still miserable, you know. We don't have that access to basic necessities. We have to be dependent on someone else. And people do take advantage of us, you know.
So we always talk about welfare and well-being. Today I want you to just decode what is the difference between a seafarer's mental well-being versus a seafarer's welfare.
See, Karan, well-being is a very broad word. And welfare is somewhere a subcategory of well-being, right? So I know a lot of companies are investing a lot of money for seafarers' well-being. There are a lot of apps that are being made. There are a lot of companies who are working towards well-being to address problems like mental anxiety or depression or loneliness at sea. These are very major issues they are tackling. But I'll say they're not every seafarer out there. There are not many seafarers who go through this problem. Yes, there are these problems. They do occur.
Yep.
Like I said, seafaring is not an easy job to do.
Absolutely.
And a lot of people do go through such depressions or mental breakdowns. And there are people out there to help them. There are companies who are doing this. But out of 25 crew on board, maybe 1 or 2 suffer from this. And out of 100 seafarers, maybe 5 or 6%, or
Right.
I don't know the exact numbers,
Yep.
but there are very few people
Yep.
who have this problem. But there are another 95% people who don't have this problem. And we assume that they are happy. You know, that is our assumption, that if they are not mentally depressed, they are happy. So I'll say no, they are not happy. Because they are still paying $5 for a $1 thing. In today's world, when they have access to internet, when they can see the price of every item online,
Absolutely.
and they see the same item being supplied to them at 3 times the price, that is not good for their mental health as well. You know,
Absolutely. Yeah.
so that's what I call welfare. You know, so when a guy can buy anything and everything what he needs at the same, I'll not say at the same price, because even in the airlines, when you fly 20,000 feet above,
Right.
everything you got at
Very
you know,
high-
at very high
high
prices.
price, right.
So it is there. You will have to pay. You will have to pay a little extra, but not 3 times the price. You know?
Right. Right. Absolutely.
So I'll say the crew welfare is all about giving them comfort
Right.
at sea,
Right.
not just limited to their mental health,
Yes.
but also to their physical needs. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
to the things they enjoy at home,
Absolutely.
to those comfortable shoes, those comfortable jackets, you
Yep,
know,
yep.
or those snacks what they like to binge at. You know, with the binge watching, they want to
Right.
eat some snacks.
Right. Right.
So getting all these things at sea, that is what I'll call welfare.
Fantastic, beautifully put. And so today I want to decode all of this. Why? Because see, coming from good shipping companies, we don't see the whole picture. But when I speak to cadets from companies which are suppose not doing too well, they tell me that to even get a toothpaste or a soap is a challenge, because suppose you're on a VLCC and you're not getting docked ashore. So they have to carry perhaps 9 months of all of this, and it can get over perhaps in 6 months. And then what do we do next? So in your time, did you also face some of these challenges?
See, there were challenges like this, but again, this I'll say for basic things it comes under MLC, right?
Right.
Lot of things like soap or detergent, this the company has to provide. But I'll say I never used. Now you see the quality of soap what we get. The company is paying the price of a good quality soap, but they have no quality control over that. Because the ship chandler will only. I'm not saying
Supply,
that
yeah.
they are doing something wrong, but everyone wants to make some profit,
Absolutely,
right?
absolutely.
So they will supply not that quality. They'll supply something which is
Or perhaps you
inferior.
need a medicated soap.
Yeah, so
Right.
you cannot find it, right? So if as a seafarer, you will tell a ship chandler that I want this soap, only 2 pieces. For him, it is a $5 thing. He will not utilize his $5,000 employees and his whole company to find that soap for you.
Absolutely.
So this is where I started working on.
Okay.
To
okay.
go to the minute of the details, from a $1 toothpaste to $1 soap. See, for a lot of people on ship, they want to use body wash. How many ship chandlers supply body wash? No one.
It's quite
Even
limited.
if you order in the IMPA, there is nothing called body wash. It is an international catalog where everything is coded. So every item which exists on board or can be supplied on board has been given a code. So all the suppliers around the world who are part of IMPA, they can see that code and they can supply the same item.
And this is like a standard catalog, right?
It's a standard catalog which was made long time ago. Changes are coming, they are revising, but again, lot of things can be included. So for a personal use, I'll say there is still a lot of scope to
Absolutely.
happen.
Absolutely, sir. And like you said, perhaps you have preferences of body wash rather than a soap. And where do we? Now the irony is, we seafarers provide something like a mic to this sweater to the world, and yet we don't have the access to get something like this on board. And that is where I think you cracked the code, if I may.
Right,
Yeah?
that is absolutely right. We
Yeah.
are the ones bringing,
Yeah.
like we are from the container shipping.
Absolutely.
All the containers are filled with all
Yes.
these things
Mm.
which we are bringing to the world.
Mm.
And we cannot get it back on board.
Correct.
Right? So it is again, yeah, it is an irony.
Yeah, yeah.
And it is the sad part also.
Absolutely. And there is a myth also, so that we can perhaps open the container and get something out of that, but that is absolutely false.
We don't know. See,
Yeah.
again, we don't know. There are 2,000
Yeah.
containers on
Yeah.
board, sometimes 20,000.
Absolutely.
We don't know which container has what,
Mm.
except the reefer and the IMDG
IMDG.
cargo, which we cannot open at all.
Absolutely.
So it is a myth again.
Yeah. Good, sir. I had a similar experience, sir, but not of like a soap or something, but something based on shopping. Now, I went to West Africa, and I don't know if you've been there.
I've been
Yeah.
there.
So, वहाँ पे these guys come with local watches and local shoes and everything. Now, they sell it saying that it is original, or perhaps it is come from a container or something. So I said, okay, show it to me. The watches looked very original. Now, as seafarers, we perhaps have that spark key, okay, we are going to Africa or US, we need to buy something from there as a souvenir perhaps. And I bought that. And turned out, after 2 days of sailing, that watch stopped. And after 1 month of sailing, I had purchased the shoe from there, and wo bhi, without even wearing, regularly, it got broken. And the cost for that was not cheap. So that shoe, I still remember, was around $200. It was a Nike. He told me it's original, but now I know it's not original. But yes, things like these happen to seafarers, and I call seafarers very bhola people. Bhola is like, not very well conversed with the world and how it works. So, in my opinion, sir, we are taken advantage of a lot of times. So, have you seen these, ship chandlers, not ship chandlers, but local chandlers in ports taking advantage of seafarers?
See, I tell you, Karan, if you go to a shopping mall, to any store, at home, and they once you enter, like suppose a big store, Apple store, they know you are there to buy or even to browse. How they treat you.
Correct.
Right? They bring you in, they ask you, sir, would you like something? They'll show you everything. And now I ask you, have you seen the businessmen coming on board who come to sell things? They just come with a bag, they spread everything, they sit at one corner, start smoking, or they are just busy on their phone. You want to buy something, you buy, or they just pack it up, go to another ship.
Correct.
So you see the difference here? We are spending money.
Absolutely.
Both the places. But that guy knows we are desperate to buy. We don't have any option. So there is no respect for the for the consumer, right? But outside they know if you are there, if they don't treat you well, we will not buy from them.
Absolutely.
Right? Absolutely. So that's the difference. So like what you said now, most of the places they bring anything and everything. Yeah. This is where when I started this, my first priority was to get that confidence. I'm in Sailor's Cart. We are delivering to the seafarers laptops, phones worth $3,000, $4,000, and we are taking money from them. After they check it, they receive it, and then that's when they pay to us.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's the confidence I'm building, and we can electronics is a very dynamic thing. For an iPhone, which is imported from Malaysia or from China, cost $300-$400 cheaper than the actual local. Suppose in Singapore, where we are running the operations, it is in the Apple store $300 more expensive. But for me, if a guy is buying, he's spending $2,000, I will not try to cheat him giving him a phone which is from China.
Right.
I want him to get a phone with a valid invoice, and it is from where he want to purchase.
Absolutely.
So this is where even for Nike, for Adidas, everything is procured from authorized vendors. Because if the guy is paying $300, he can afford $300.
Absolutely.
And he should get original things.
And like I was saying, sir, Africa was one example, but when we go to China, you must have seen those guys come on ship, and like you said, they put a mat on the gangway ke side pe, and they put their watches, gadgets and everything. Now, that is where you highlighted a very important point, which is quality. Now, we think that whatever he's bought, like a projector, would be original and authentic. But most of the time, it doesn't work after 1 or 2 months. Right? Now, this is this is why it's a burning question inside me, that why seafarers are always left behind and put in shadows and this is a small example, like a welfare thing, but yet it is happening. And after COVID, sir, suppose let's dial it back, sir. 9/11 happened, ISPS rule came in. Now shore leaves also got limited. Then COVID came 2020, it got even more limited. And the ports also now, sir, in the beginning, I think were more internally into the cities. Now it is in the outskirts. This is also causing a lot of hindrance for us to perhaps go out and buy things. And I think you are solving that problem, right?
That is correct. See, shore leaves were always very restricted.
Right.
For seafarers, it's not that every port has shore leave.
Hmm.
Then, suppose big ports like Australia or USA, where everyone wants to go out, you have visa restrictions. COVID, the visas were not even issued. 2 years, no, US never issued any visas, right? So again, these things did come to my mind when I started this, that due to restricted shore leaves, no visas. Even I'll tell you, there are ports where you go out. Suppose if I tell you, you go in US, you go to Best Buy, you go to Walmart, or you go to big Apple stores. They don't have anything on the shelves. You know, even if you spend so much money, you spend $100 on the taxi to go and buy something what you wanted from Best Buy. Now you reach there and they say, sorry, you have to order online and it will be delivered after 2 days.
Absolutely.
You know, so this is also a big challenge for the seafarers. And I'll come back to your question, why seafarers are exploited like this.
Correct.
You know, because everyone knows they will not return back so soon. And you know, when you go to a shop to buy something, the shopkeeper knows that you are coming to buy something. If he does something wrong, gives you something wrong, you will come back after 10 days and say, hey, what is this? Why you gave me a substandard thing? For the seafarers, when the ship sails out,
it's gone.
It's gone. You know, so now it's his problem. It is not the problem of the seller. He sold you some, manipulated phone or some phone which was engineered, and they do a lot of things. I had one experience where I bought a SSD in China. You know, the small SSDs was just launched that time.
Okay.
So the guy was selling SSD for very cheap, $40 or $50, and 2 TB or something. And I thought, oh, it's very good deal, you know, and it was like Samsung and it is original. That's what they tell you.
Absolutely.
And later it stopped working. Then I tried engineering it. I opened it, there was a small USB connected inside and it was a empty, just a
case.
mount and a small USB connected inside. So that's what they do. And they know now there is no one to complain. Whom you will complain? You cannot complain to your captain. You cannot complain to your company, because there are no guidelines or rules until now made for crew specific items, for personal items. MLC does not cover what are your personal needs. They cover on the whole what a ship needs for a seafarer to be comfortable on board. Right. And even in that case, I'll say a lot of things with MLC supplies which are supplied on board are not such good quality. So there also, I have encountered myself as a superintendent. I used to visit a lot of ships where I used to see treadmills or multi-gymnasiums inside the gymnasium. And those are not working, supplied 2 months back, because those are not good quality. But as per MLC, you have gymnasium, you have equipment, it is there, but it does not work.
So it's like a tick mark for the protocol.
Yes. So this is where, there has to be a quality control. The guys, if a treadmill is there for the seafarers, it has to work, and it will be used by 20 people every day if they have to.
And so talking about that, it's very important for the morale of the person. To suppose, personal example, if I go to the gym and it's a good functional gym, after the gym I feel very good about, yes, I've done something for myself and it feels good. Now this example is very crucial because on ships perhaps we don't have that much of movement as such for muscular structures. As a deck side perhaps, engineers, yes, they are working on machineries and all, but deck side, suppose you're in the ocean passage, you're doing your watches and just 1 or 2 hours maintenance, but then your body needs physical exercise. And if a gym is there, which is functional, it perhaps serves the purpose of my health as well, and that is related directly to my mental health as well. But what you're saying is an actual obstruction. That yes, for the tick mark it's there, but it's not working, it's not the best quality, right? And so I want you to emphasize on how the morale of the crew changes, because you are a master, and when you would have done something for the welfare, how the morale of the entire ship changes. Anything you want to highlight there, sir?
See, I'll highlight one very important thing. Most of our shipping fraternity the morale went down during COVID times when the shore leave actually stopped. Before that, everyone was busy going to the ports, going outside. So the biggest challenge was surviving during that time. When you had to climb on the ship after so many tests, you go there, and 8 months everyone will treat you like an alien. They will not let you even step on the gangway. So that was very challenging times for everyone. So I'll tell you from my example. When I was on board, I was the captain, and I stayed on that ship around 8.5 months. Some guys were there for 11 months. And none of the guys during my whole contract told and came to me and told me, sir, I want to go home, or when will be my sign off. And the basic simple reason was, it's not that I'm a very good master, but I made sure that my crew is happy. Even if they're not going ashore, I used to have agent in Bangkok. We used to call Bangkok very often.
Right.
No shore leave, but yeah, we used to go there. So the agent used to bring, I used to order so many things for myself. Plus the crew, whoever wanted, someone wanted t-shirts, someone wanted just chips. Like you
Absolutely.
still have some, positive things happening on board.
Yes.
You know, and we ordered a projector for the ship. We are playing games on board every week. We are doing some activities to keep the morale up.
Absolutely.
So I say that boosting up morale means bringing happiness, keeping your people happy. So, and shopping is one of the things that brings a lot of happiness to everyone, not just seafarers.
Absolutely, sir.
When
No
you
doubt.
go out and you spend money, which you are earning,
Yes.
when you go out and you buy something, it gives you that pride that, hey, I earned this. And even the bigger happiness is when you buy something for your girlfriend, for your wife, from your earned money. It gives you much more happiness.
And when you take it back home,
Yeah.
that joy when your mother sees that you got a gift from their first salary,
Yes.
that nothing can buy, sir.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So then I want to come back to now sailor's card, because we've had a discussion of what are the problems, but you are the first person, in fact, who's done such a thing in my limited knowledge, who's done something which is for the direct welfare and not indirect. So like indirect is like MLC trying to imply good things, but directly personal responsibility. Now, sir, how did sailor's card start and what does it do?
See, Sailor's Card started as a help to my friends.
Okay.
To be very honest,
Okay.
when I moved to Singapore, and I was a container master, so it's a very small world. So a lot of my friends used to call me, hey, come, our ship is coming. So I used to go and they'll say, hey, can you bring us one small, this thing. I was telling the ship chandler, he says it's not available, or the other guy is charging us too much. Can you get me this phone? Can you get me that shoes? So I used to just carry a handbag and, go meet my friends and just give it to them, whatever they wanted. But when I started doing this, going very often, I used to visit the port. And then the AB at the gangway will say, sir, next time when you come, can you bring me this small item? I need it. Then Chief Officer will tell me, sir, you have brought something for the captain. I also need something. Then I realized, it is not just the master. It is everyone who needs something. So it started as a help. Sailor's Card started as helping people, and still now the mission is same, but now it's on a bigger scale.
Absolutely.
So now I'm not just helping my friends. I'm helping every seafarer out there who needs something. And believe me, people ask me. I get this question very often when I go to seminars or I go to events. Then that what does a seafarer need?
Yeah.
And it's a very strange question to ask. At home we don't think what we need. We just order what we need.
Absolutely.
So, and I tell them that as an employer, your responsibility is to provide comfort on board. Even at shore, officers just pay you salary to live a good life. You make your life comfortable by buying things what will make you comfortable.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So why a seafarer has to limit his need to have a catalog or a list of things what you can buy. Whereas for us, you just open your phone and millions of things. You have option to buy anything and everything.
Absolutely.
So this is where then I started working on, and I tell you, the things ranges from even socks and to even undergarments sometimes, because you cannot plan your 9 months.
Absolutely.
You don't know what weather you will get. Your socks might get worn out after 1 month. So Sailor's Card is your friend. Okay, Sailor's Card is a platform where you can buy anything and everything while you are at sea, and you get the comfort of how you enjoy at home. So it's just at a button of click how you shop on sites like Amazon or Lazada. So we have a catalog. You just go to the catalog, you search your favorite item, you just click from there, we get the order, we process the order, we clear it through the customs, and we know your ETA. So when your ship arrives at the port, we deliver you on board. So you don't have to do actually anything. You don't have to go ashore. You don't have to search for your things. You don't have to know where you will buy this thing. You will get everything right at your gangway.
So it's like Amazon for seafarers.
I'll say Amazon for seafarers someday.
Someday.
Amazon is too big.
Yeah.
But yes,
Starting there.
We are starting from there. Yes.
Fantastic, sir. What is the most amount of thing which is requested from you?
See, most amount of things, I'll not say a certain thing, but yeah, seafarers do like gadgets. I get a lot of requests for expensive gadgets, and now since they know that the quality is 100% assured, because we have that strict policy that if the quality is not what we are promising you, we will not charge you any money, we'll take it back. Then so they are buying a lot of gadgets from us, but they are also buying a lot of shoes. They are buying a lot of eatables. I tell you one more thing which I never assumed will during my time, because as a master I used to think I've ordered everything what my people want to eat, because I'm the master is responsible directly responsible for victualling, right?
Yes.
So but I get a lot of requests from seafarers requesting small things like their favorite noodles, which will never come. They said it will never come by a ship chandler. So I get from people like from crew like Philippines, from Myanmar. They have certain flavored noodles, some fish noodles or some porridges which they want to order. So I'm even getting requests for that. So I'll not say that there is a limit. For me, the Sailor's Card has a very unique tagline, and that says, "Your wish is our command." So whatever you wish for, it is our duty to get you on board.
That reminds me, sir, suppose our shipping is a very dynamic industry, like schedules change, port calls get cancelled. So suppose I ordered something from Sailor's Card. Now, if the schedule has changed, how do you manage that? Or do you have some kind of a protocol that if the port call is cancelled, what to do next?
See, Sailor's Card, this also came to my mind because, again, you have to have that contingency plans always. Yes. So first thing, we do have a return policy. Right, okay. That most of the things what we are buying except the eatable items, and that is again we are ready to take that chance. Okay, but we start ordering things not well in advance. We have that 10 to 15 days limit. That's also for a reason, I'll tell you that later. But the ship starts ordering 10 to 15 days before, just in case the port call gets cancelled. We have that return policy with our vendors where or if the ship is coming back, like for the container ship, sometimes the port is just changed. They're coming after 10 days and they are still ready to take the items. We store it for them. Okay. And even if sometimes wrong things reaches on board, which they did not order or they ordered something else, we take it back. We don't charge them. Okay. And for missed schedules, I'll say I have not had it until now because people are really eager to get that.
Yeah, I can imagine, sir.
And it very seldomly happens that the ship is cancelled, the port call is cancelled. It has not happened until now.
Yes.
And in case it does, we are okay to hold things for them till their next return call.
Right.
Or they can reorder and we can return everything to our vendors.
And so which all places or ports is this operational right now, Ship's Card?
Sailor's Card right now, I've started from Singapore. Like I said, it's this journey is not very long. Yes. We have just recently started and we are expanding now.
Okay.
But in Singapore, we are well established in all, even the anchorages, the outer anchorages, all the 3 ports, Tuas, Pasir Panjang, Brani, those all terminals we are serving. But our vision is now we are already talking to strategic partners in Dubai, in Hong Kong, and interestingly, I have a person in Brazil who wants to join hands, and because Brazil is one of the most challenging ports. You don't get anything because that is. I've got a lot of feedback from my people from container shipping that you don't get anything in Brazil. So that is where I was thinking how I can make this happen. And luckily I met a person during one event. He was from Brazil and he's very much interested, and he was very happy to see that this
Something.
thing can be done.
Hmm.
So see, the vision is like this, to make it available everywhere,
Absolutely.
but it is one step at a time, and we
No,
are
no, fantastic. So at
all
least,
hands on deck.
yeah, and at least there is someone who's thinking in this direction, because I've attended many webinars, seminars, etc. We all talk about mental well-being, and it's emphasized so much, mental health and all of this. But the core problems, like you and I were discussing, that even a small thing, a material thing, can actually give you a morale boost, and it can be a good utility. Suppose I want to buy a watch which can give me data of my health. Like there are so many things which have come up in recent times. So that's not available to me directly. And even if I go to US, and like we were discussing, there is limited shore leave. And suppose there is a chandler who does this, then there are costs involved. So I want you to tell us what are the costs which add on suddenly, which we as seafarers don't recognize and are still, forced to purchase that.
See, with my experience before, when I was sailing,
Yes.
I used to buy a lot of things from US. So there used to be some chandlers who used to do this, and they'll upfront ask me, okay, we will charge you $150, $200 to buy this, or they'll say 20% of the value of the item. So suppose you're buying a $1,000 thing, you are paying 20%, $200 extra. So that does not make sense. When everyone can buy at the same price, why can't sailor buy?
Absolutely.
So this is where I also started Sailor's Cart at this same thing in my head. The sailors should have a transparency.
Transparency, right.
They should have transparency in whatever they are buying. So every item what we are selling at the same price how it is seeing online.
Okay.
So if you see a laptop that's worth $2,000, you send us a link, we'll supply you 2,000. And Sailor's Cart, to run our operations, we are charging a small delivery fee.
Okay.
To deliver it on board.
Right.
That is even less than if you take a taxi and you go out.
Oh.
That is a maximum service charge, no matter what is the cost of the item.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And what are the payment? How do we pay you? Like, what are the
See,
payment
right
of-
now we are only, like I said, people don't trust you so fast. To tell everyone that, hey, I can supply you a $4,000, pay me in advance.
Yeah.
No one wants to pay that. So now slowly we are moving to digital payments. But until now we are doing totally cash on delivery.
Okay.
So we are delivering our item, the people are happy, and then we take the money and we run our operations.
And so, how many seafarers or perhaps ships have you served till now?
We have done about 55 ships until now.
Okay.
And I'll say we have, if you take the numbers, about 1,500 seafarers
Fantastic.
we have served.
Yes.
And now we are getting repetitive orders, like the same ship has ordered 3-4 times. So now even after the crew change, it is being passed on. And very recently we did delivery. And since right now we are not too big in an
Right.
organization also,
Right.
so I'm involved in everything. I'm just monitoring every operation, from the executives to the delivery to the messages what I received on our groups. So I got a very nice message to my executive. She told me, sir, you should read this, and I read. And there was a Viper who sent a message that thank you so much. These chocolates, he ordered some chocolates and
Right.
small. He said, I ordered this for my kids.
Yes.
I'm going home, and I would love to do business with you again and spread your message to all my friends.
Oh, fantastic.
So that is something that brings. I'm not doing any marketing. I'm
Right.
not going everywhere and telling people what I'm doing.
Yes.
But my people are telling their
it's
friends.
word of mouth.
Yeah. So that really matters.
And that's why you are here, sir, with the Seafarer, trying to get out that next time I go to Singapore, how do I get a MacBook which is perhaps cheaper in Singapore than India, right? So that brings me to the question, how do I contact you?
See, we do have a WhatsApp catalog. Right now we are not doing any e-commerce thing because most of the companies have restricted their data limit. The websites are banned. The apps does not work. So I made it very simple for everyone to reach us. That's WhatsApp. So we are like your friend, your WhatsApp friend. You know how you message your friend.
Right.
Hey bro, I need this thing, can you get me this?
Hmm.
So that's how they approach us.
Okay.
You know, we have a WhatsApp catalog.
Okay.
There is a QR code. Maybe I
I'll
can
put it
send-
on the screen. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can put on the screen, so the guys can just scan that. It will open a whole catalog. The catalog has a lot of collections in it, which, with my experience, seafarers need.
Yep.
Which I used to need when I was sailing, or I used to see people buying on board. But we don't restrict ourselves. There are about 2,000-3,000 items there, but we don't say that be restricted by the catalog.
Okay.
Like I said, your wish, our command.
Yep.
Just send us a photo. Just send us, I need this.
Okay. So
Except anything which is bonded,
right.
alcohol,
Yep. Yep.
or anything illegal, we can supply you anything on board right at your gangway, and even at less cost than you going out ashore and buying it ashore.
Fantastic. So you're like the Santa Claus for all of us.
Santa Claus with a black
with
beard.
a black beard.
Yes, yeah.
Fantastic, sir. Like what trickled in your mind to start this entrepreneur journey? Because you must have had a comfortable life so far. You're a master, now a superintendent in a good company, and suddenly this risk appetite, like we were talking about. So what sparked in your head? Like, was there a moment which touched you that, that's it, now I need to do something?
Karan, to be very honest, I told you before also, I wanted to do something bigger. Always, you know. When I was a third mate, I wanted to become second mate as soon as I can. As a second mate, I wanted to be a chief mate, and I really grabbed that. At very early ages, I became chief mate. Then I wanted to get a command, you know. So I worked very hard. I got my command also. So if you talk about risk appetite,
Yes.
the sooner you achieve your goals, the larger your risk appetite is. So as a superintendent also, I spent like 2.5, 3 years as a superintendent.
Absolutely.
And after that, I realized that I'm not born to do this, you know. And the thing which it came to my mind, like I said, Sailor's Card was like a side thing, what I started to just see and help people. But the more ships I visited, the more misery I saw. And the more it kept, you know, hitting my head that, hey, someone has to do something about this.
Absolutely.
You know, because I was seeing even, I was not able to reach every ship out there. But I still used to visit some ships and they used to tell me that, hey, we bought this phone from last guy. Because I used to visit ships. You know, I used to go and meet people, take their feedback. That what was your experience before coming to Singapore? And they used to tell me, we bought this and we know the price is $200, but the guy cost us 400. Or sometimes they will give them Malaysia imported phones which will stop working, and expensive phones.
Right.
So then I saw that someone has to take an action for this, you know. And that is where it hit me hard that now I have, you know, I still have that risk appetite to take.
Yes.
I still have my COC.
Absolutely.
I still have my license.
Yes.
And I don't say I wish to go back to sea.
Yes.
But I want to take this chance for betterment of others, you know.
Why I asked you this question? Because I want to get into the entrepreneurial side of you, you know, because all of us seafarers always think कि business होना चाहिए, we should have a business, or there's always an escape plan from the sea, right? So what are some of the things which you have learned so far in your journey which you think can help young budding entrepreneurs, or perhaps could guide us in a way that, okay, this is how you should go about it and this is what you should not do in your journey?
See, one thing what someone taught me, which
Yes.
I'll teach all the entrepreneurs
Yes.
here, that there's a one single line. It says, fall in love with the problem. Don't fall in love with the solution. What you are providing is a solution. Normally people fall in love with what they are doing. You know, you start a business, you say, oh, my business is the best. I'm solving so many things, you know, and that's not the case. Fall in love with the problem. The problem is where you have to put all your effort.
Fantastic.
You know,
Yeah.
so this is what I'll say to the entrepreneurs who are trying to go
Yes.
big, that if you love the problem and you do everything to solve it, your solution will always be the best solution out there. Okay, so this is something I'm also doing. This
Absolutely.
is something very close to my heart, seafarers.
Absolutely.
And seeing the problems they are facing disturbs me, you know. So every day I keep thinking only about one thing that's on loop in my head, how I can solve this problem. And it is not just this. At Sailor's Card, we are not just stopping at just supplying goods or supplying parcels. I'm thinking how I can make life for people more easy. Suppose my next step is I'm working on a model where we can get food delivered on board, live food, like how you order on
Like a restaurant?
Zomato
Yeah.
or Swiggy or Food Panda.
Absolutely.
It's not difficult. If it can reach your house, why it cannot reach a ship? The ship is docked in the port. So we are even working on that model, and it does not stop here. Now to go out ashore, we have to wait for a port bus to come pick us up. Why not we make something like Uber that comes to the gangway, pick you up and drop you wherever you want to go and drop you back home, drop you back to your ship safely. You don't have to waste 2 hours from your rest hours. It is, again,
Absolutely.
these things are coming out of from your rest hours.
Yes.
It is not that you can go out indefinite
Anytime.
and come back, sleep anytime. Seafarers does not work like that. So these are the issues which are directly linked to your mental health.
And they're very much linked, sir. Like you and I can endorse this, and I think the young aspirants also who are watching this will realize eventually that such small things which when we stay on land don't even think about.
Yeah.
Out at sea become a big thing for us.
Yes.
Like you said, if I get my favorite dish delivered on board like Zomato or Swiggy, it gives me a joy. It gives me joy, and it's something which I will look up to always when I'm docking the ship.
Yes.
Right? Otherwise, right now what happens is, this is like as brutally honest I can get. You go dock in Singapore, the operations are so hectic because you have bunkering, you have supplies coming in, and I hate going there because it is chaos.
Yeah.
Now at that moment, if suppose you come with butter chicken and butter naan freshly made like an Indian style, for me it's a moment of pleasure and satisfaction that yes, this is something which gives me makes me feel at home.
Yeah.
It's warmth for me. It can remind me of my mother, that and these are very small things which you don't think about, but I think they play a very crucial part in our lives, right?
Definitely, yeah.
And so switching back to your sea life, what are some of the lessons which you have learned from the sea, which have made you what you are today? Because I think it's a powerful element, being like the water, which teaches you a lot.
See, one thing I've learned from the sea and which is still keeping me here,
Yes.
never give up. For a sailor, no matter how rough your sea is, you know your destination, right? And you never stop your ship in a rough weather. You always cross it, right?
Absolutely.
So you find a way. Actually, it is about finding an alternate route.
Yeah,
Right?
navigating the alternate.
Navigating through rough sea is not easy. It's not for everyone. But as a sailor, you are, from the day you join your first ship, you are taught that you have to cross that rough passage. You have to go across the ocean, no matter what.
Absolutely.
If you are going throughout Pacific, the whole sea is rough.
Yeah.
You will not stop your ship and say, I will not go ever. So this is something I'm also doing. I'll not say entrepreneur journey is easy. But everyone told me, like what you asked me some time back.
Yes.
Why I left even my family,
Yes.
my wife, everyone told me this.
Right.
That
Right.
why you are leaving such a good job and doing something which, it's risky.
It's risky, absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I told the same thing. That I don't want to stop my ship and say that I could have gone there. I wish I navigated my ship well and I reached there. I don't want to say that. I want to proudly say when I reach my destination that I was a good captain of my ship.
Oh, fantastic.
Right? And I navigated my ship well. And again, it is about your capabilities. It is about your hard work,
Absolutely.
which will take you to your destination.
Any particular moment while you were out at sea which you think has changed you, some kind of an encounter which has give you a different perspective about life in general?
See, shipping and sailing has made me a bit emotional, which I was not as being
Okay.
young. I was
Yes.
angry young boy,
Okay.
But shipping has taught me more thing about values, about relations, and it has made me more strong.
Emotionally strong.
Emotionally strong and weak at the same time. When
Of
it
course.
comes to family,
Yes.
I'm emotionally very strong and sometimes emotionally very weak also. How we are at sea. When
I
we are
understand, sir.
we are going from our home packing our bags,
Worst feeling.
it is we are emotionally very
Yeah,
weak that
yeah,
time,
absolutely.
right? That we have to go back to sea. But when we are working, when we are standing on the bridge doing our job,
Yep.
we are emotionally very strong.
Absolutely.
That we have to do this, So shipping teaches you both both things at the same time. And this is what it has taught me also.
Right, sir.
And it has just, I'll say, one more thing which I feel that only shipping could have taught me is the care what we have, you know,
Absolutely, for each other, because
for
it's a
each other. Yeah.
closed environment.
Yes. So this business what I'm running, if I was not a seafarer, I could have never done it. You know, now I have sailed with people, I've sailed myself, I have gone through each problem myself.
Absolutely.
So I know
It's relatable.
it is relatable. Even I'll tell you, my executives, I teach the same thing. That the people out there are not just looking for a iPhone or a laptop. They are looking for someone to care for them,
Beautifully
to
put, sir.
give them that value what they deserve. You know, I say a crew, seafarers, actually require to be valued, to be empowered, which is lacking everywhere. You see everywhere in the airports, wherever you go, you have separate lines for airline crew, you have separate lines for the soldiers.
Yeah.
So I personally believe that not all soldiers wear uniform. You know, there are some soldiers who don't wear uniform, and those are the seafarers.
Oh, as crisply as you could put, sir.
Right. So we are running the whole economy of the world.
And literally we are.
We are.
Yes.
We are the reason why
Yeah.
the world survived COVID. The markets did not crash.
Yes.
And until now, it's very unfortunate when people, even in Singapore, people come and ask me, what do you do on a ship? Where is your, like in India, it's a very common question. Where is your posting?
Correct.
You know? Yeah, it's because people don't know about seafarers. And how we started,
Yes.
everything from the things we wear, to the things we eat, to the car we drive, to the fuel what goes in that car, everything comes by a ship.
Absolutely.
And there are people out there who are actually working day and night away from their families, their kids, who are running the whole show. And still no one knows about us, you know.
So why do you think this lack of awareness is there?
The lack of awareness is because it is as simple as that. How you, when you order from Amazon, right, you order something that reaches your house. You don't care who's the delivery guy, who's the guy who's packing it,
Point.
or who's the one who's producing it. You wanted your things, you got it on the table, you know. So it is very
like
simple.
that.
Yeah, it is. And for the seafarer, seafaring is one of the oldest profession out there. Much before there were doctors in hospitals, there were sailors exploring the oceans, finding new countries, doing trades, you know. So seafaring has been there, and it has been taken for granted since then. You know, no one, see again, with now I say the change is coming.
Yes.
You guys are really working very hard, and I see that. There are a lot of people out there spreading good things about seafarers. It was always bad things about seafarers told.
Yeah,
you know,
life in every port and all
Yes.
that.
So
yes.
those were the
Yes,
myths.
yes.
I'll say those were actually, I don't know, we have not seen it, you know.
I have
and
not seen it. You have not seen it.
I have
sir.
not seen it. So
Yes.
it is actually a myth. But I say the respect will only come when we show a good side of the seafaring community.
Absolutely.
And that's what we all are trying to do.
And so, you know, what I have learned over shooting so many podcasts and meeting, you know, great people like you, entrepreneurs also, that we have a lot of resilience in us and a lot of determination. Because what I've observed in general, like just be my perspective, when you're on land, you the resilience factor is very less because there are distractions, many distractions. So if you're not liking it, okay, you can just distract yourself into something else. Out at sea, there is no distraction. So you have to grind through it. And that spirit also comes in the entrepreneurship. Like, because it's not easy, as you have seen, as I also see it. It's day and night you're contemplating on the problem. It's not an easy thing to do and trying to solve it. That requires a lot of determination and resilience. And like you rightly put, if there is a storm, the ship does not stop. It gives an alternate direction and finds the destination. Similarly, we also do in our daily lives the same thing. And this is what I'm proud of, being a seafarer and the sea, that it has taught me that you have to do it because there is no other alternate.
Yeah.
Right? So, and I think that's the same spirit I see in you, I see in all the seafarers, and this community is so strong. It's just that nobody is able to recognize the strengths of a seafarer. Yeah. It's always about, you know, how the business works best for shipping. But the important stakeholder, the most important stakeholder are people like you and I running the entire show. So I'm so happy and proud that I met you and you are solving this exact aspect. Now I just want you to tell us what is your vision for the future of Sailor's Cart.
See, my vision is very simple. I want whatever the sailors need on board, I'm able to supply that, not just in Singapore. So my vision is how we order our ship stores, that we just sit, we order something, the order goes to the company, and company sees where it's the best port for them to supply. This is where I want the sailor's cart to be, you know, that the sailors can just click a button, the order goes, and now they know that we already have the route, we already have the ports.
Right.
Now we see where it's cheapest for them to get it. Maybe an iPhone is cheaper in Hong Kong than in Singapore, and we know the ship is going there, so we provide it there. So that is our vision, that sailors can get anything and everything. And I tell you, it's not about anxiety or depression anymore. You know,
Right.
it's all about bringing happiness on board.
Yes.
So if we can solve this problem, make their lives comfortable on board, there will be no anxiety, there will be no depression.
And
You
it
know?
really, like I told you, so like if I get that butter chicken and naan, it solves a lot of problem for me mentally. That warmth is there, like you said, care. And I think that's the takeaway for me in this podcast. Nobody cares
Yeah.
for Seafarer. Like you said, the delivery boy is coming and going, and you just consumed what you got. And nobody thought that from where this guy has navigated through traffic, what his background is, yet he's giving you something which is for your own sake,
Yeah.
own pleasure. And fantastic to see that a seafarer is doing this. And just, putting a perspective, so I've seen that seafarers themselves are trying to help seafarers, and they've left the support and help system of the bigger structures which are out there, because they understand the core problems and values.
See, that is what I see, that what brings me here today.
Absolutely, sir.
Right? I
Absolutely.
spoke to you over phone.
Yes.
We spoke for 30 minutes and we got connected.
Mm.
We know each other from last 4 years.
Absolutely.
Right? So, but when you heard this,
Yep.
you saw that what I'm trying to do
Yes.
is for the seafarers.
Absolutely.
And we all think alike. And
Absolutely.
that is where I think if we all start supporting each other,
Mm.
very soon people will know
Mm.
what seafarers are.
Mm.
And we will very soon have a separate line at the airport.
Absolutely.
that, please welcome back the sailors, And I
Yes.
wish that will happen someday.
Yes.
That is my, I'll say that is my goal.
And I fully support you, sir, in this, and we'll do our best to get it out there. And also, I want you to just, because there are a lot of aspirants who watch this podcast, do you have some kind of a message for them before joining this profession? What kind of things which they should avoid or do to come here? Because there's a lot of scams, I would say, a lot of fake things which happen. But just as you coming from a master's position, what are some of the things which aspirants should know before joining this profession?
See, I'll say Merchant Navy is not an easy job. First thing I will tell all your viewers, don't go by the fancy reels what you see on Instagram.
100%.
That is not the reality of shipping. Okay.
Yes.
Maybe, yeah, you are seeing the reels of the masters who are well established and they are showing you their good lifestyle. You will reach there someday.
Yes.
But don't come to the shipping with that point of view. Any job where you start thinking of the money first, you cannot succeed. You have to start thinking how you can grow up in that profession. That's when money will start following you.
Absolutely.
So come to this, come join shipping. Shipping is a beautiful profession, but it is not for everyone. And if you are coming here with the mindset of just earning money, I think now in today's, it was very much there during our times that shipping was one of the best paying jobs.
Yes.
With IT, with AI, with so many things right now, finance, there are much better options out here which can pay you money,
well.
right? But if you want that pride and if you want that when you go, you want to do something different from others, that is what shipping is all about.
Absolutely.
And we welcome everyone who wants to join shipping.
Yes.
We don't discourage anyone,
Yes.
but it is not easy.
Yes. Absolutely. sir.
It is not.
It's not.
Yeah.
And so, great that you could make it to our show. And just wanted to ask, is there a number of that WhatsApp where we can put for like seafarers who want to watch and order something?
See, instead of number,
Is the QR code.
It's a QR code. It will
Okay.
directly take you there
Okay.
because
Okay.
it's a Singapore-based number.
Yep.
And very soon, if we expand our operations, so the numbers will change. So you do visit our website. We'll leave a link to our website.
Right. Right.
So whatever the updates are going on, even we are now getting a lot of traction from our shipping community.
Fantastic.
Everyone is coming forward for support, and it's for a good cause. And we are looking forward to work with Mission to Seafarers,
Yep.
ISWAN. They are big organizations who are working with the same goal like what we are.
Absolutely.
So definitely whatever the updates are going on, it will be always there. And we look forward to serve each and every seafarer out there. And I hope you take advantage of what we are doing for you. You know?
Absolutely. Because the next time I want to buy GTA 6, which is going to launch, is then I contact you from Singapore and I get it delivered on the ship, which has a PS.
Definitely.
So
yeah.
fantastic, Captain Akee, and learned so much from you in this conversation. And I hope we see Sailor's Cart even in India someday.
Sailor's Cart already we are setting up.
Okay.
We are in terms in India. The only challenge is every port has different rules.
Okay.
Every port has a different custom officer, customs, So it is a bit tricky.
Right.
But definitely,
Yep.
we want to come back to our own country.
Absolutely.
And like I said, India has huge potential, lot of ports coming up,
Absolutely.
lot of sailors coming here. And we want that butter chicken to be delivered
Yes.
even in India.
That's why I was saying
Yeah.
that food nobody can beat in
Yes,
India. So,
Definitely. Yeah.
thank you, Captain Akee.
Thank
for
you,
being
Karan.
on the show.
Yeah.
And we look forward to having you back here.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks.
you. So that was Captain Akee on the KSN show. I'm so happy a seafarer is doing something for the welfare of the majority of the seafarers. That's what I will call it. I hope you give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and also comment who all you would like to see on the show, and we'll try our best to get them here. Signing off, KSN, and don't forget that seafarers play a very crucial role in your life, but they are not recognized as we discussed. So share the video as much. Thank you. Signing off. See you next week.